Today is July 16th. It's the All-Star break. We're hitting the reset button, bantering with Boone, and giving out grades for the first half. Let's talk Yanks.
Talking Yanks with old John Boy, Jake. Recaps galore, weekly awards, stat lines, theme, and hot takes. Get your Yankees news from these two fine dudes. It's time for Talkin' Yanks. Talking Yanks with old John Boy, and Jake. Talking Yanks with old John Boy, and Jake.
Hello and welcome to Talkin' Yanks, brought to you by SeatGeek. My name is Jimmy. His name is Jake. VBD over there. We're coming to you live from Arlington, Texas, where we witnessed the home run derby yesterday. Judge won it, his fifth straight. I don't know. He should probably stop doing it. Let other people do it. He'll play in the All-Star game tomorrow.
Yeah. Today.
Today, yeah.
Tonight.
Jake, I have a question for you.
Sure.
Did you hear Juan Soto's interview? It was a clip we tweeted out about how Judge is batting fourth. Soto had a very fun quote.
I did not. I saw his Shohei quote. I didn't see that.
So they were like, Skeens is starting. Soto, you'll be facing him in the first inning. Judge, you may be facing him batting fourth. And Soto said, I'll make sure he faces him.
Yeah.
It was good. It was like, yeah.
I mean, it's kind of a good bet.
Yeah, he was just quick with it, too.
Yeah.
I wonder if I could find the clip. Soto, Skeens, Judge.
Nice. It's a real good MLB search right
Got
there.
it.
Judge is too big. Look how big Judge is in that
He's
clip.
he's so big.
He's too big.
How you doing?
James, Davis, everyone, happy All-Star break. Doing well. We are down here in Dallas. Congrats to Judge on the Derby. Him and Stanton. Yankees get highlighted on the big stage once again. Yeah, we're doing all right. I mean, we're coming down from that Yankees final loss, which we talked with Boone a little bit. He's in good All-Star break spirits, and it's been the Yankee conversation around the house and everywhere that it's like, yes, it's just a reminder. The pillars are still there. Like, the first half as a whole, you'd grade out as a B+ probably. It's tough with that last month in our mouth.
Like if you just told us before the season this midpoint.
We were a ground ball to short from being in first place.
If you were to take, how we always say, like,
redistribute the losses.
yes, spread them out in a different way. You say, if the podcast day, if this was
Right.
blah, blah, you would feel different. So if you say, hey, you were going into the break, one game back in the division, 58-40, and the second best or the third best record in the American League, you'd say, that's a B. It's a B+.
Yeah.
But yeah, recency, biased.
Sometimes that's how it happens. So, excited to do our event in Dallas tonight, Community Brewing. So hopefully we'll be seeing some of you there. I actually know we will be.
Yep. And we've been doing a ton of content at the house here.
Yes.
Jake's been doing a bunch of his Wake and Jakes. I have to record my Jimmy's Three Things show. Both of those shows are in a relationship.
Yeah. Dan Patrick.
Yeah. Everyone agrees. What's that called? There's a
Everyone agrees.
consensual relationship.
They're all dating.
John Boy Media, iHeart Podcasts, and the Dan Patrick Show have all teamed up to bring you Wake and Jake and Jimmy's Three Things. So you can find those shows on their feeds. We like them. They like us. It's a good place to be.
We like them. They like it. We're in our car.
Riding in my car, and I see a pretty girl. I like her. She likes me. What's that rap group called?
I don't keep up with them like I should.
And I see
Who's
a pretty girl.
Who sings that song?
The Pack. I'm in my car.
Hey.
Okay. All right. Should we just throw it straight to Boone? Do you have anything more for the people?
Well, I think we should tell the people. I teased it a little bit. We have a grading system after Boone for some of the Yankees' first half. We did it in our fashion.
So stay tuned.
Because you guys like that stuff. And no, I mean, I don't know. I'm excited for everything we're doing down here in Dallas, and I think there's going to be an interesting wake up Friday night playing the Rays. Like, okay, we're back in it.
Yep.
Are we still losing? Did we end that? And then, I don't know, Boone. Okay. For people that don't watch on the YouTube, and you're more than welcome to go check it out. Nice ad right there.
Ad.
You know what?
Another one coming up.
You guys are more than welcome to just go check the show you're listening to out. I don't know. Boone had a little. We didn't really talk anything because Boone's not going to tell us anything about actual trades or anything like that. But I don't know. I think it's where I started. Like the fact that the pillars are there. I think Aaron Boone knows that there's going to be a little bit of reinforcements coming. Whether that's
There better be.
bullpen, there's got to be an infielder coming.
I asked him to write down his 5 keywords to slide under the door to the front office. Stay tuned to see what he answers. Spoiler.
They're good keywords.
Kind of avoided the question.
No, it's a keyword for me.
Yeah.
Booking.com.
Yeah, that's how we got here because we traveled. Summer's here. It's hot, and we traveled to the heat. And you can do the same. We're going to Boston end of July. We're very excited for that. Hopefully we'll get to sit on the Green Monster again. That's awesome. Hopefully it's not 100 degrees and feels like you just opened the oven door and checked on the muffins and then the smoke hit your face. That's what the outside feels like here. It's brutal. But you can travel to places that don't feel like that or places that feel like that, whatever you want. This episode of Talkin' Yanks is brought to you by Booking.com.
Yeah.
The right stay can make you a fan of any us city.
I think that's you.
Oh, U.S. city.
It's an
Even your
initialism.
rivals. Book today on, it's kind of a J Hap situation. Book today on Booking.com, an official accommodations partner of Major League Baseball on the site or in the Booking.com
Give me a
app.
baseball team that's not the Yankees.
Orioles.
Baltimore. You can head down. They got the aquarium there. It's on
I
the
love
water.
Camden. I
some
do
good
love
places
Camden
to
Yards.
eat. Like if you got the right to say with Booking.com.
I like the quaint stadiums a ton.
Yeah.
Boone. Baseball. Welcome to Bantering with Boone, brought to you by Beatbox. Booney, we are in Dallas. You're at home. Jake's wearing a cowboy hat and cut off shirt, which says Jake sucks. That is a really funny look. I'm so immune to it
Yeah.
that when that pops up, that
You started it.
Anyway, how's the off days, the break treating you?
Good. It's been nice to, just unplug for a second and, sit in my chair and chill out for a minute. And got some friends coming over, a little barbecue tonight, watch some of the All-Star game. And, it's nice to definitely have a few days and get ready for the sprint that is the post All-Star break.
Going into the break,
Mm-hmm.
you win the first 2 against Baltimore.
Mm.
Game 2 is one of the more solid wins. Cole to the good guys in the pen, Wells with the great at bat, Soto and Judge, the All-Stars, both homer. Game 3, come back. The rookie Rice gets a huge homer. Vibes couldn't be higher. You're going to sweep the Orioles. You're going to be up in the standings. It's going to be the best break ever. And then the plane crashes on a ground ball to Volpe and then the fly ball to Verdugo. How does the room and you, how do you handle that giant swing there at the end?
Yeah, you handle it. That is, one of those brutal ones that, puts a little wrinkle in that pep in your step on the way into the break. But you also have the perspective of that's exactly what it is. It's a loss. It's a tough one. Want to make sure you pick up your teammates in that spot. Obviously, there's probably not 2 other people you want the ball hit to in those situations, than Volpe and Verdugo. They've been so good. So it's just one of those, crazy things that happens. It remind me a little bit of, although I think you guys will know better than me maybe, but I think it was 2021 when, we were kind of under 500, I think even in July at one point, and started to get it going and went on that last road trip before the break. I think we went to Seattle and won 2 out of 3. Then we went to Houston, and we were about to sweep Houston on the last day of the All-Star going into the break in a 4-gamer, I think. And I think we had a 5-run lead in the 9th. And Chappie was down or something was going on with him. And we tried to kind of get Herman through to start that inning, who had dealt that day. And then Greeny was kind of on fumes and kind of more emergency, but I had to go to him. And I think Altuve had hit a home run to beat us, 5-run, and walk us off into the break. And I remember that being like, so, I think you try and take a step back and, kind of acknowledge, like, man, we, get the team together. It's a brutal loss. It's been a rough few weeks for us. And acknowledge that and know we got to play better and know we got to do some things, but also acknowledge, like, we've put ourselves in a really good spot going into the second half here. Like, it's been nothing. It hasn't been perfect by any means, but the reality is, we set out to be a championship club, and that's right in our laps now. We are the authors of this thing going into the second half because of the play we've had. And so you kind of acknowledge it all, acknowledge where you are, and try now to get ready for the sprint and, like, refresh the minds, refresh the bodies, come back Friday, like, ready to give everything you got. And so it's an exciting time, actually, coming on the heels of a real tough loss.
I mean, we do remember that because we've now been doing All-Star festivities ourselves the past 4 years now. This is year 4. And yeah, Boone, we got, our guy Trevor Plouffe, us 3 in the third baseman club. They're like, I don't know, we're getting laughed at last night. I mean, because it is unbelievable to a degree, Boone, because it's, like you said, Volpe has been awesome defensively this year. We have some questions about some of his offensive stuff because you clearly his profile and trying to get him to lead off, and now his stats are a little closer to last year. But man, I don't know. I understand the baseball mentality of, like, especially with the All-Star break, like, all right, it's baseball season and let's see you Friday. But God, one's like that. I don't know how you do you not lean into the sting a little more and be like, maybe we should feel this?
I think we did. Well, you can save that. I mean, you never been in the clubhouse after a game where you lose a tough one. It stings a lot. You feel the emotions of a win or a loss, but part of being a professional is also having the ability to turn the page from it, and good and bad and indifferent. You've got to be able to do those kind of things. So, the one thing, for us not playing well over the last 3-4 weeks, I started to see I feel like some good things happening starting in Tampa, just with some of the periphery at bats from guys. I feel like we're starting to find some depth in our bullpen. I feel like there's 2 or 3 guys starting to really carve out a role for themselves that I feel like can be a part of a winning bullpen. Obviously Garrett looked really, really good the other day. Luis Heel has now bounced back a couple times in a row. Like, there's enough things happening that I feel like we're starting to turn the corner. I felt like even in Tampa, where we didn't punch through a couple of days, we won the one game where it was like, how did we win that game? Where they had a ton of base runners. We kind of just kept surviving it. I felt like, we kind of were in control of the Baltimore series throughout. Like, and we didn't have those games for 2-3 weeks. It was really, really hard when we were behind the 8 ball, most days. I feel like we finally started to turn the corner a little bit. We still got to get some guys rolling. There's probably still some things that'll happen with our club over the next couple of weeks into the deadline. So you certainly acknowledge it all, but, prepare that we're getting ready to be crunch time now in this, whatever we have, 60-plus games left.
In the Orioles series, you're searching for leadoff guys still. You go DJ the first game, Verdugo the next, Rice the third game. In the first half, you had 5 different players lead off. Rice only 6 times, but Volpe, Torres, Verdugo, LeMahieu, they both end the first half in the bottom 20 for OPS out of all MLB players. Is there a thought to just moving everyone down and going Soto, Judge, Rice, and not having all the most at bats going to a currently bottom hitter in the league and wait till someone announces themselves to say, hey, I'm ready, I'm hitting, and go there?
Not yet. I mean, the thing that obviously solving that spot's been a challenge, especially what we've gone through over the last month, where we've really tried to find it. I haven't really wanted to move Juan up there. At some point, you could make the case to throw Judgy up there, but in the end, I want those guys 2-3, and then all of a sudden, look, I think if you did that with Juan or Aaron, I feel like they're going to be successful at it. So then it's going to be like, if a guy does start to declare himself, then it's like, why are you moving them now? Like, I want those guys 2-3. That's my hope, and that we can solve something, whether it's on the roster now, internally, somebody steps up, we make a move from outside. Like, I'd like those guys to remain 2-3. I might go with Rice a little bit, especially against righties in that spot. Hopefully getting Giancarlo back soon to bulk up the middle of the order a little bit. So we'll see. And for as much as Doogie has struggled too here over the last month or so, and Glaber's not had the first half we're used to seeing, I feel like Glaber's had some better at bats in that Baltimore series, started to get some results. Like, I feel like Glaber's going to hit at some point in the middle. Doogie, I feel like, is going to will turn and he'll catch fire a little bit, and then you throw Giancarlo in the mix there, and all of a sudden that offense that has been a little up and down, all of a sudden gets a little bit longer and meatier, and hopefully it resembles more of what we saw for a lot of the first half, where Doogie was a big contributor. So I'm confident that can happen. I'd like to solve the leadoff spot with somebody kind of grabbing it, and even if it's a right-left platoon in the leadoff spot, that's fine too. But I'd like someone to grab it.
And what about, is it fully open game to maybe some unsuspecting characters? Austin Wells, Trent Grisham, the last month of ball, they've been playing like they OBP wise, having at bats, they would be the 2 hot hands that aren't Soto, Judge, but they're not going to be the first guys you go think go lead off.
Yeah, I mean, you never know. I mean, I don't see me doing that anytime immediately. But we'll see. We'll see as the half starts to unfold.
Has the word leadoff hitter come up in any of the trade meetings? Like, is that a piece that you could be searching for? I know you can't go off. That's
how many trade meetings are we at too?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't been in a lot of trade. I mean, those are a couple. I know, like Cash and in the front office, those, conversations to varying degrees have been happening now for a month, where you're starting to kick the tires with teams. And now that everyone's through the draft, and there's still probably a handful of teams declaring, are they in, are they out, are they in between? So those things just come down to the timing of it all, and is there a match? So you're having, conversations, I'm sure, with most teams, and having those meetings where I know they're going through every organization, to evaluate farm systems and big league team and who might be a match. And so obviously those things start to happen with the draft ending today. The next 2 weeks, those are the interesting time in Major League Baseball, where these teams start to take shape.
If I had to say, let's do an exercise, you get to write down 5 keywords to slide underneath the door to the front office. Which 5 keywords would be on that memo? Like, I'll start maybe like bullpen, even though they looked great the last 2, or,
I thought you were going like on base or
no. Yeah, well, it could be anything.
Bullpen.
Yeah, bullpen, corner pop, lead off.
Yeah. I mean, look, I think we can all, say, okay, here's the handful of things that you would love to do or potentially do. A lot of times, though, it becomes about who you can match up with and make a deal with sometimes. So sometimes you have to go accentuate a strength because it presents itself, or, that's the interesting and, frankly, I think very exciting part of the next couple of weeks is, teams declaring in and out, teams half in, half out, teams still making that decision over the next couple of weeks. So then who are you, trying to sync up with and play with? So, again, like, I think we can all identify, all right, well, we could really use this, but in the end, what's available and what makes sense and what's possible.
Stan, what's Giancarlo Stanton?
Oh, Stanton.
What a good ad for the Traject pitching system the other day, but it goes from he's going to get at bats against that, and then now he's thinking about getting real at bats. I guess where are we at, and who's giving votes in that process? Because we were a little thrown off. What was it, the 2022 season, when everyone was trying to come back for the playoffs and they did at bats?
That was 2022, yeah.
2022, they did at bats at AA. It was like Carpenter. Carpenter versus Wandy, and we were like, hey, if there's some games, that's the number one hitter thing, is like, if you can get real live pitching in a game, that's what you're looking for. So I don't know. I know Stan gets treated a little uniquely and deservedly so in some ways, but what goes into that decision, and where are you guys at?
Yeah. I mean, that'll be a decision for him and the training staff and me and the front office, like, ultimately what we think is best. He's doing pretty well. He's running the bases. He's hitting off traject and doing a lot. Still not all the way there yet. I didn't see him this week, so I'll see him. I'm going in Thursday. I'll probably see him Thursday. And then hopefully this weekend we're getting to that point where we're saying, okay, he's playing a rehab game this day, or we see him back with us this day. I don't think he'll be playing with us this weekend, but I think we'll be at the point where we're making a decision about, okay, he's doing a rehab assignment this day, or he's going to be back with us this day. And that hasn't been made yet. I just know we're getting close to that point.
Who do you think he's putting into the traject machine? Like, what pitcher do you think he's just call every at bat, then just winking at Cole as he walked past him? Just went 2 for 3 off you.
I don't know who he's loaded up in there.
We stepped in against Cole's pitches in the traject machine.
You did?
Yeah, we did at winter meetings. It was, you know what? As we were doing it, Arson Judge signed with the Giants.
Oh,
and it was quite a stir.
how'd you like hitting off traject?
They didn't let us hit, so we just watched the pitches go by. We were just tracking, you know.
Yeah.
It was early stage. We were tracking pitches. It was
And
cool.
what'd you think?
It was pretty cool. No comparison because I've never stood in against Call. I don't
Yeah.
feel like I can go out there saying I've stood in against Call, you know, even though they say those are his pitches. But it's a wild technology.
Yeah.
And maybe
It's
this
impressive.
maybe this is soft too, but also like kind of knowing that it's not going to hit you. I feel like that's a chunk of the battle while hitting. So it's just like,
Your feet could get pretty comfy.
Yeah.
I actually thought it was very interesting, the conversation with the rules committee I was having, because they showed us that, and basically they can't allow teams to use it mid game because not every stadium has enough room for two. They were like, Fenway doesn't have two areas where both teams could have it, nor not every team wants to spend the money for both teams to have it. So we cannot allow teams to use it during the game because just logistical unbalance of using it. I thought, damn, that's something I would never have thought of, but makes sense.
Yeah. How many teams have it now? Do you know?
I don't know, but you're not allowed to use it during the game, right? And there's like supposed to be an MLB guy there monitoring that. That's what.
Yeah, we have those. What are they called? Those monitors are down there, or those guys are down there watching for everything.
it's kind of wild, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder why they needed that. But someone did something bad.
Yep.
All right. I have a question about Volpe. He ends the first half with the same OPS he had all last year. Now, he's been phenomenal on defense, sans that last play going into the break. But he has, I think, been a leap better than last year. And I'm not knocking last year. I just think he really graduated to a great place defensively, where he's making the beautiful plays, the routine plays. But the offensive side, it's below league average OPS wise all last year, a different profile of offense this year, but again, below. Is that enough with his glove to be a glove first shortstop, or is the expectation of the organization that that's not who he is offensively, and he will develop to, above average and better?
Yes, I think he will develop to be an above average offensive player. And I just think he's going through that process of being a 22-year-old young player in the league that's, has flashed the talent to you, the offensive talent. And I think just going through what he went through last year, having some real good moments and doing some real good things, but also having some real struggles. Having the gumption and the aptitude to be able to go and make some adjustments and changes that, we saw a lot of the first half that really, looked really good. Then has gone through some struggles. I think it's part of him. Look, he became our shortstop at 21, and it's not just always a meteoric rise, although it's been that way certainly defensively. He's going to get there. And as I said, like before I moved him to the leadoff spot, like, when we look up in 10 years, I think he's going to be a guy that hits in the top of the lineup. I think Keith McPherson always says, like, in 10 years, I mean, in 10 years, he will be viewed that way. Not in 10 years, he's going to move into the leadoff spot or top of the order. I think he's going to be that kind of offensive player. He's still working and going through some of those growing pains to get there. So, it's a tough game. It's a tough game. And, hopefully in the second half, some of the things he's working on start to click in more, and you see a closer to completed hitter and product, but it's a work in progress. And it is even for a veteran player, but certainly for, a 22-year-old shortstop.
Here's where we'll run into another segment of our show called Fan Theory, or Monday morning quarterback, backseat driver, whatever you want to do, and maybe we'll call it, like, not to step on Rouston's toes, but we have a theory on Volpe because they showed on the broadcast the outside pitches. It's ice cold. It's blue. It's just up top, high and away. There's some hits, but if it's middle away and low away, just there was a 3-1 pitch to him in that Orioles game late. He ends up hitting into a fielder's choice, but there's a 3-1 pitch. It's middle. It's kind of on the outer half of the plate, and he takes it as it starts walking as if it's a ball 4.
Right.
But it's not even on the edge. It's there. So our theory is maybe we scoot closer and that outside becomes less far away. I think that pitch, we were like,
I think part of it, he's been really busted in too, though, over the last month or two. They've really come inside against him. Now it's obviously to open up the outside part of the plate, because I think the first part of the year, he was using the going the other way so well and effectively that I think teams have really started to crowd him. So that's probably made him aware. And at times, like, boom, and then that freezes them a little bit out there. So again, all part of the going through it process. And but yeah, I actually did notice those couple pitches that you're talking about.
Wow. Okay, so it's
Good.
Fan Theory and Boone Theory.
I'm glad you. I was gonna get in front of you because I was gonna get. I know Jimmy's normally your kind of tips guy, but yeah, I think maybe a baby scooch or one way or the other. Let's figure it out.
I don't know if it's necessarily a move, but it's just being aware of, how you're being attacked and those kind of things. And that's part of the experience of it all.
I think one kind of adding on to Volpe, I guess from day one, starting lineup, 21 years old, opening day till now, that we've got over a season and a half of baseball. Has anything changed with his approach at the plate?
Oh yeah, I think a 180.
Okay.
I mean, I think from last year to this year, I think it's changed a lot. And that's part of the reason I think, he's going through this a little bit, because he did make such a significant swing change and change to how he does things. So, with that, we saw some success. With that, we've seen some struggles. And I think it's all hopefully going to serve him well, getting him to, whatever offensive player he ends up being, which I think is going to be a solid one.
The other note from the last game is Clay Holmes, who's at the All-Star game, the commissioner's pick, I believe, which I didn't know happened, but that's fun for Rob. I would love to see the intern that makes that pick for Rob Manfred, but Holmes is there, and he leads the AL in blown saves now, and last game is not his fault. He got the outs. But my caveat has been he puts so many balls in play and weekly hit balls that when he does blow a save, it's rarely his fault. It's seeing eye singles. He's not good with the Manfred man because he gets ground ball outs, so that's hurt him a little bit.
This is the nature of a closer, okay? I mean, unless you have the greatest closer in the world, they're on the mound at the end, and if they give up a run, they lost it. I agree. He didn't blow the save the other day in Cleveland when he came in the 10th inning and we didn't make a play, the infield in. He didn't really blow that. I get it.
That's why I'm not knocking Clay. I'm saying that there's a reason throughout the history of baseball, closers have been swing and miss guys, not swing and hit guys. The strikeout dominates the 9th inning in that position. And when
Quisenberry?
What?
Dan Quisenberry?
Dan Quisenberry.
I don't know if he's the top of my list when I go to all time.
Mariano Rivera was a swing and miss.
Yeah, he's swing and break your bat guy. Yeah, Mo got some Ks. I don't know the numbers on it.
Don't want to compare anyone to Mo.
Well, I'm just saying you run into
Exactly.
these
I mean,
instances.
we just faced Craig Kimbrell. He's a swing and miss guy.
But you know he can't handle the Yankees, Bo.
Yeah, I mean
that's our talk radio voice.
he didn't scout Rice clearly.
I guess how about this? Let me fanify this for you. Like we're saying a lot of the same stuff. Like you can't be mad at Clay for that. He got a ground ball to short. He got a fly ball to left. That if you're in a catch probability, whatever it is. And Doogie has been great out there, and Volpe's been great out there. So there's horrible irony in it. But like you're saying, even with Cleveland, like the play doesn't get made. That I don't know, when a closer normally blows a game, Orioles fans are saying, Kimbrel, you can't give up that home to Rice. Who the hell is that? Where we're coming off of these blown saves, and it's kind of what we just did right now. Like, okay, so it wasn't Clay, kind of. It's kind of the defense, but we can't get mad at them because that's baseball a little bit. So that's like the fan experience that we're in like a little loser tornado.
Right. Well, I mean, look, so like, I mean, the end of the day, the closer, if he gives up a run, a lot of times that's, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. He's got a 2.5. That's kind of how he's pitched. He's pitched about to a 2.5, which is a really good pitcher. Like, I feel like even the other day, I don't feel like he had his best stuff, but I feel like this year, especially, he's been really consistent with his strike throwing, whereas some years in the past when he's gone through a rough stretch, he kind of loses his own. He's a more refined, better pitcher now. Every now and then they're gonna put it in play and it beats you. But we're all looking for perfection, and sometimes these narratives get going like it's incredible to me. Like,
Well,
we're looking to improve where we can and add to the pen maybe, but kind of I feel like some good things are happening in the pen, and Clay Holmes is the least of our problems.
Yeah, good things are happening. The whip's high this year.
Yeah.
That's the number that's jumping up. And I know with that Adley at bat, he's clearly
pitching around.
Not worried about the outcome of a walk. It's you can't really count against him. But the whip has been higher this year. I noticed a spike than the last couple. And that's a position where, no one goes 1, 2, 3 clean besides Emmanuel Clase in 2022. It's like crazy.
Right.
But it's a position where you want that. So, yeah.
I hear you.
Games like that, we don't know where to look. And that's all we're trying to do. Like, well, how do you solve that?
Because on the other side, not to pat our own backs, we used to defend Chad Green because there was a narrative that was like, Chad Green gives up big homers. And we'd say, yeah, because he's pitching in the 7th or 8th inning with a 1-run lead. So, yes, it's going to feel like a big homer.
I'm glad you guys say that. Yes.
Yeah, well, and he's the goose.
Yes, very, very good.
We miss him a little bit.
Yeah, he keeps the ball in the yard.
He does.
Until one guy hits and it's this gut punch of a loss, and that adds.
Hey, couple guys make a plays defensively, and this doesn't come up. We're talking about old Jeffrey Hammond stories, but you got anything else before we get to the beatbox trivia, Jim?
Boom, boom. Rodon. You changed the rotation. I'll do that. You changed the rotation a little bit. What went into the switching things up? Is it mostly giving Heel extra rest? Was it changing lefty-righty matchups, or do you look at the schedule at upcoming series to match it up? Oh, yeah, Nestor home and away. Like, what went into the rotation?
A little bit. We wanted to lead Garrett off. We wanted to give Heel, the biggest spread.
So that's your 1 and 5. Those were the first 2 decisions.
Correct. Yeah, and then beyond that, it was like, okay, we'll split up the lefties with Stroh in the middle. Like, kind of came down to as simple as that. Yeah.
We talked about this earlier on, and you and I both agreed that it's weird and it might come back to earth. It hasn't. Nestor's home and away splits have actually become like more apparent through the first half.
Yep.
The 2017 Yankees actually had this with Michael Pineda. I'd be interested to go back because that's the last time I remember such drastic home and away.
Sonny Gray a little bit.
Yeah, but yeah, it's much different. It's a 191 batting average against 301 batting average against
Nestor.
Nestor. It's a 893 OPS against versus a 515.
Wow.
And OPS plus, he's 45% better than the average pitcher. Or batters are 45% better than the average batter away, and they're 50% worse than the average batter at home. So the numbers have just continued to separate. Any stock put into it now, or do you still think it's just the oddity of a season?
Yeah. My take on Nestor is I feel like he's throwing the crap out of the ball. I feel like his stuff's really good. I feel like he's in a good place, and I'm excited about his second half. I think the road thing's going to improve. Like the other day was a good example. I thought his stuff was good. I thought he made some mistakes. The first hitter of the game, the ball kind of sliced. Did it hit something up there that lands in center? And then
Yes, it did.
a Rosarena cheats to an up and in and just hits it in the seats like 2-0. It's like, and then, later in the game, we got a chance to get out of it. Rosario kind of, just kind of gets to one and fists it down the line perfectly. So, because I thought his stuff the other night was really good again. Just some things that kind of didn't bounce his way right away. And I think
Kind of did bounce his way a little bit because it would have been a home run if the Trop decides to have cameras on the ceiling that they have too close to the ball.
Yeah. I felt like in that game, like it kind of snowballed on him a little bit, and his frustration hurt him a little bit instead of just pitch. I feel like his next road outing is going to go out and pitch well. I mean, I do, and we'll start to move that needle in a better way. The way he's throwing the ball, hopefully, should set him up for success in the second half on the road as well.
Yeah, I'm interested because it's just one of those baseball peculiarly, you know what I'm trying to say, things.
Yeah.
All right.
Boone trivia is presented by Beatbox. Beatbox is the perfect pairing for a Yanks game. Do yourself a favor, hit the link in the description to find a Beatbox near you. I've got two questions for you, actually. One, do you own a cowboy hat?
No.
Okay.
Ooh.
We'll work on that.
I used to, though.
This one might be coming your way. And then
That one.
okay.
The parade.
Following up, your first year as Yankees manager. There's 4 All-Stars. Can you name them?
There's how many?
4 All-Stars. Your first year as manager.
Wow. Aroldis Chapman.
Aroldis Chapman is one, yes.
Where was the game?
Ooh. 2018. We have our best people on it. Washington, the Nationals.
Okay.
8-6 final score. You probably remember it.
I'll go Aroldis Chapman. I think Gary Sanchez made it that year.
Ooh, Gary was the one landmine. Hit, not 2018.
Dang it. He was 2019 with those.
I can give you
Judge, yep.
Can give you a pretty big, nice hint here. One guy.
Gleyber Torres.
Gleyber Torres.
And then you had maybe the biggest Jekyll and Hyde season one of your starting pitchers has ever had, first half, second half. You said 2 words I liked earlier, gumption and aptitude. I'll give you 2 words to describe this guy's first half. Gas and filth.
Jeez. I don't know. Starting pitcher?
He's
Yeah.
still around the city.
Starting.
Huh?
He's still around the city.
Oh, Sevy.
Sevy. What was that? What was that first half? 14-2? Is that what you just had?
Sevy, Judge, Chapman, and
Glaber.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, off of Sevy's 2017 season, in the first half, he was 14-2 with a 2.31 ERA, and the Phillies announcers, the radio announcer said, "Severino's got 2 pitches tonight: gas and filth." That was awesome.
That's good. That's good.
I said, let's make a shirt out of that. And then the second half, he was literally the best pitcher in the AL the first half, and then the worst in the second half.
Sick sport.
He was tipping. He was breathing in the set. Remember? You remember.
Yep.
Yes. All right. Well, thanks, Boone. Appreciate it. Enjoy your barbecue and the off days.
Enjoy the All-Star game, boys.
Will do.
Yeah. All right. That was Booney. Again, sometimes I know a lot of people listen on their commutes and are audio only. Boone smiles a lot, and I take that as like an agreement, but then he answers
Yeah.
PR. There was one question where one thing I said, and he smiled, and I was like, son of a bitch.
The people are gonna have no idea.
He was nodding and smiling or laughing. Fuck, what was it? I forget.
You got him to cave on Sevy tipping in 2018.
Oh,
He was silent for a while.
He was very silent, and he said, yep.
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 I do remember.
You remember that, Boone? Oh,
He's breathing.
Do you remember that? The manager.
whatever. You just gotta fuck around sometimes, you know?
Man, and you got to wear some Tommy John underoos. I wear my Tommy John. It's all I packed. Well, I packed other clothes, but underwear-wise, Tommy John is all I brought. I had one pair of Tommy John. I used to plan my week around them. I said, Jake, McFly, hello. If you do that, maybe you like these underwear and should just get more. So I did. I loaded up. I'm TJ only. And you can join the Tommy John game. Shop Tommy John on Amazon for great Prime Day deals. Oh, my God. 30% off. So that's today. Save up to 30% on Tommy John Prime Day deals. July 16th and 17th at Amazon.com/Tommy John. Okay.
So I might get some because you've been talking about them for a while.
Let's get like
Amazon.com/Tommy John.
Let's get like a order sent to the office, and you pick out a couple. I'll pick out a couple.
Okay.
Shop Tommy John with your buddies. Oh,
What's the code? I'm on
it's
the
Tommy
site.
John. It's
Prime
Amazon.com/Tommy John.
I
So
did
we're
that.
priming them.
It's
I did
Prime
that.
Day, so the 30%
Men's
is
underoos.
that's
applied.
Briefs, 4-inch trunks, boxer briefs.
I think it's either briefs or the mid-length boxer briefs.
That's what you like?
I think so.
Okay.
I'd like to see the relaxed fit.
Anyway, I have
Shop Tommy John.
with Boone some things of note. I like to kind of recap. Okay, what did he actually answer?
Yeah.
And there's some things he did actually answer. Looking at our notes about the leadoff spot, I think he really doesn't want to throw Soto and Judge down there. He wants them to get RBI opportunities.
I agree.
I agree with him. It's
I
just
agree.
like
It just kind of stinks.
when you pose the question, I spell it out. All of our leadoff hitters are bottom 20
Yeah.
OPS guys.
Yeah.
He made a little face there, which was like, "Come on, dude."
He didn't love that you put stats to it.
Yeah, because their stats are bad.
That's the whole point.
Which I agree with him. Like, and Soto doesn't want to lead off. They like seeing pitches. So I get it's just a conundrum right now. And he's saying, yeah, we're still searching for it. The Trent Grisham Wells, I thought was a good thing to throw out of him, see how he reacted. And he basically said no.
Basically said no.
Like,
Yeah.
no, I don't think I'm going to.
interesting.
Nothing's
Yeah.
impossible.
I thought that was firm. Yeah,
Because if you're willing to put Ben Rice in the leadoff hole, you'd like to think Austin Wells.
I
isn't
thought it would.
crazy.
I thought we might get an honest. Yeah, that's something we're thinking about. But no, they said no. The other thing that he did confirm was he also noticed Volpe's reaction to those pitches that are in the zone, and Volpe's reacting as if they're not. So
That's good, because we had to put up our like crazy precursor on
oh
that
my God,
one.
we had an hour of like, how do we address this?
Yeah.
And how do we get him to entertain the conversation?
Yeah.
And yeah, he's like, I did notice those pitches. I'm like, all right, great, because his eye's off.
I did the only goof that I felt like I missed, and you remember your misses more than your hits, was
Not musicians.
when he was talking about deadline ads.
Yeah.
And he was like, he started just doing the, it's what's available, and sometimes you want to add this, and sometimes you just got to make your strength a strength. I wanted to hit him with so Alonso to the Yanks, and just to get him off rocker a little bit, but that's all. That was Jake's only missed goof segment.
My head went to they're going to trade for a closer. I just thought, like, because in their head they trade for Tanner Scott, then the questions arise. Well, you have a closer. Like, well, you got to make your strengths your strengths.
If you really wanted to, when we were doing the awkward clay parts, because I get that they have to bang there. Oh, and Jake's not goofs. Do we want to get a little messy segment? He said something about, he's like, yeah, for closers, and unless you have the best closer in the world, and I was like, hasn't that been the team's like rally cry for the past couple months? Like, we have the best closer in baseball.
The way they talk about Clay every time the question comes up.
Like, it's almost been a stock answer from them. So, I don't know. If we needed to get ugly, that would have been the moment of, well, I thought you had the best closer. But obviously, that's not really our brand.
Yeah, and it's official. Volpe's supposed to be better than this offensively. Confirmed.
They still think offense should be there at some point.
Hope so.
The only other thing that I feel bad about not getting onto the sheet for us was Trevy's out. They gave Rice one inning behind the plate, like his first week.
Oh yeah,
like any chance, just see what he says. But
yeah,
Narvi's up.
I thought about it.
All right, so here's what we're gonna do.
Fun exercise.
Here's an exercise for you guys at home. We have the answer key. You need to fill in the answers. We might make a Google form or an online trivia or a Sporkle.
Not sport. I'd like a submission form.
Submission
so we
form?
give out like a T-shirt to whoever gets it first.
All right, so that we graded the first halves of the Yankees. We did the top 10 pitchers and innings pitched and the top 12 batters in at-bats. If you want me to run through those numbers.
So we left out, like, Cole, there's no reason to give a grade to now. Ben Rice just missed.
Just missed the cut. But Volpe, Verdugo, Judge, Soto, Torres, Rizzo, Stanton, Oswaldo, Trevino, Wells, DJ, Grisham all got categorized. And then pitching-wise, because there are some names you would not expect, Nestor, Carlos Rodon, Marcus Stroman, Luis Gil, Clark Schmidt, Weaver, Holmes, Tonkin, Hamilton, Ferguson are the last three. I don't know if you automatically know those guys are the...
You wouldn't.
Yeah.
You wouldn't know Dennis Santana's 11, but maybe that's where we stopped it.
Yeah.
He's serving up runs for the Pirates right now.
11th most.
Out of those 22 players, there were 4 Fs given out. There were 3 Ds. 6 Cs. 4 Bs, 5 As. And I think there was a couple guys C to D swing where we went back and forth.
Yeah.
And was there any B to C? I don't think so.
Couple.
Yeah. I had 1 B to C swinger.
So, submit in the comments.
We don't know how
or
yet,
form.
but submit your answers.
Definitely comment.
See,
on YouTube.
see if
Definitely
you
comment.
see who you have. How many A's, B's, C's, D's, F's do you have? And that was Talkin' Yanks. Thank you very much. Go Yankees. Tell them, Grams.
Go Yankees.